You angrily storm out of Samuel Armstrong's office. The nerve of these fucking blue bloods. No matter how much these Camarilla members pretend to protect the rights of all kindred, you know damn well the only interests they serve are their own. You sigh as you make your way down the streets of Montreal Nord. You pass a couple of cops interrogating a group of young kine. You're no different from them in a way. You still have to fight to defend what you have, and there's always somebody higher up the social ladder willing to take it from you. To think you're part of the undead now, and yet nothing's changed. It's almost comical in a fucked up sort of way. Something snaps you out of your philosophical thoughts, however. It's a group of young men, little bastards. As if being walking blood bags wasn't enough, they're leaning against your car. One of them is even sitting on its roof, that piece of shit. You stomp your way to them and come to a halt not too far, glaring at them in the process. The young men cease their conversation to look at you with mockery and disdain.
The hell do you want, old man?
Get off my damn car!
You hiss, teeth clenched. They look at each other only to snicker.
This piece of trash is yours?
One of them says. The others start laughing. You clench your fists.
I said, get off my fucking car, you little shits, before I make you.
You can feel your blood boiling and the beast inside you raging. The one on the roof steps off and lands on his feet. He immediately takes out a switchblade.
And what if we don't?
Time to show these bastards who's boss. You eye the boys before you. Your mouth contorts into a sneer, and your brow furrows. You quickly crack your neck. You reach for the sewer lid nearby. Time to lift it up. Your gaze rests on the little man who was sitting on the roof of the car. Yep. Thanks to your supernatural strength, this will be a good weapon. You've grabbed it. The metallic object weights rather heavy, but you should be able to make good use of it. You turn towards the group of kids with an evil sneer. This should be enjoyable. Your muscles budge. You smirk devilishly. Now's your time to shine. You decide to hit the one closest to you with all you've got. You're looking forward to expressing all that pent-up rage you've got going tonight. You charge at the closest gang member, bursting with the desire to end him. With a loud crack, you smash the sewer lid through the head of the first ganger. His body drops to the floor like a smashed watermelon. The other gang members eye you warily. The little bastards are regrouping. They're ready to attack you, but you're not intimidated in the slightest. You've been through much worse. They lunge at you. The one on your left hits you with a jab to your chest, which throws you off but didn't do anything serious. The second thug, on the other hand, slices your arm with his switchblade, which leaves a very nasty and heavily bleeding cut. If you stay where you are, those fuckers will beat you up. You decide to retreat in order to gather your thoughts. You concentrate for a second, and without warning you dash with supernatural speed a good distance away from the gangers in front of another parking car.
Where'd he go?
The little thugs look right and left until one of them finally spots you.
What the?
You stay on your guard, prepared to jump the first one that gets near. Looks like they follow you. One of them manages to run right before you, but he is too exhausted to make any attack. He is nothing but prey now. You grit your teeth and lunge at his throat. His eyes grow wide in shock as you drink his blood in deep gulps. After you almost emptied his body, you throw him away like an empty sack of potatoes. You concentrate again, and your deep cut on your arm is mending, leaving only a small mark behind. To your surprise, the last ganger is not running away, and you can see pure madness in his eyes. He must be on some hot shit. With a fast kick, he hits your face, and you could almost feel that one. But your rage has taken over, and you finish him with a sledgehammer of an uppercut. Thomas Chartrand. As a teenager, Thomas Chartrand was prone to getting himself into trouble with the law. Whether it was for picking fights or leading protests, it seems there was rarely a week going by without Thomas spending at least one night in a cell for one transgression or another. As he got older and, some would argue, wiser, he found his calling as a leader in the workforce. His pragmatic views and skills at mediating disputes between the unions and management even led him to a seat at the Trade Union Center. While meeting with co-conspirators from the FLQ militant separatist group, Thomas was lured out of a bar during a rather rowdy night and embraced. To protect his new fledgling, his sire brought him far away from the then Sabbat-choked Montreal so he could come to terms with his new life and his new position within the vastly different power structure of the Kindred. As a Kindred, he is now an anarch and despises all forms of abuse, namely those of the Camarilla and the kind he has seen from the Ventru. The Brujah are the instigators and founders of the anarch movement. His years of negotiations came in handy upon his return to Montreal, where he now acts as the speaker for the anarchs with the Camarilla. The more you watch the mess you've made, the more disgruntled it leaves you. The little shits look like they got run over by a truck. And speaking of trucks, you dented your car by throwing their leader too hard against the door. You cuss out loud. You sigh. Your Tremere contact, Jade, is most likely going to lecture you again about controlling your temper. She'll remind you that having a strong sense of justice is useless if it isn't paired with the Brujah clan's legendary wisdom. You groan. Regardless of Jade's lecturing, this is definitely an issue. Thankfully, she knows someone who manages to fix the mess you've made. You don't like that you owe her, though, but in the end, you have no choice. Lying low for a while is the only way the damn Camarilla will leave you alone, and to avoid a Masquerade breach. You ready yourself for the emergency Elysium organized by Martin Hilkers. According to Jade, even the anarchs need to show up for this one. You hate the idea of being in the same room as the Camarilla, but at this point you have no choice. You can't help but wonder, though, how important could the damn meeting be that it even concerns the anarchs?